Hi, and welcome to another edition of Ram Country Conversations. Brian Roth, voice of the Rams, your host, and we're talking a little basketball here in the middle of the summer with sophomore to be David Roddy, of course, a big part of that 20-win season for Colorado State. David, great to catch up with you. And I want to start off first with non-basketball stuff. You know, you're a Minnesota native, and I know you've spent a lot of the summer at home. Can you share some of your thoughts and perspective about some of that social unrest that's going on across the nation and certainly right there in your hometown of Minneapolis?
Yeah, glad to be here. Glad to be back in Fort Collins. This summer was pretty big back in my hometown of Minneapolis. Just with the happenings of George Floyd, our thoughts and prayers to go out to his family. This is a time of change. I feel, especially in the city of Minneapolis. There's a lot of grievance. There's a lot of sorrow, but on the other hand, there's a lot of joy and community and togetherness that I feel from Minneapolis. There was great demonstrations coming from athletes who were using their platform in the right way. Starting with walks that would start out with 40 people that would transition to 2,000 people that would transition to 12,000 people. And I'm just really glad that, I was a part of that and a part of history. I'm just really proud of that. And hopefully we can continue that trend and continue that initiation out here in Fort Collins.
Yep, certainly providing a voice, no question. And that whole movement obviously will continue and hopefully get bigger and bigger. All right, well, let's talk a little bit of basketball here. Give me an idea about your summer basketball-wise. You are now back in Fort Collins. You've been tested for COVID-19, but take us through the summer a little bit and what that was like for you. Were you able to have any pickup games, and how were you able to work out?
Yeah, in the beginning of it, back in Minnesota, it was pretty cold, so we really couldn't, use the outside too much. If you wanted to be layered up with hats and gloves, then you can probably get a few shots up, but, you don't want to stay out too long. But once it started warming up, I got into a weight room. I had a weight room in my garage, or had the bare necessities for that. And then as soon as gyms started opening up, I would hear news about just some running up and down and things like that, and 5-on-5 that I was invited to. So I'm pretty grateful for that. But for most of the time, it was kind of up in the air. It was kind of, what can I do this week to try to switch things up so that, I'm not just kind of, beating my knees down on the concrete and trying to find a gym inside. So by the end of my time there back at home, I was in the gym constantly throughout the week. Now I'm back here and we're just trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, again, workouts have begun for Colorado State basketball here in the offseason in Fort Collins. All right, well, David, a freshman season that, saw a terrific output from you. 32 games, 19 starts, averaged 11.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds. What were one or two of the big takeaways from your freshman season that you're able to use and apply them now towards your sophomore season?
I would say definitely just experience. Experience comes first. We have a lot of guys coming back who, played a lot of minutes last year. So, we have a bunch of experienced guys. So, just coming into round two, I just know that I know what I can do. And I'm more comfortable in the offense, more comfortable just on the floor with my teammates after growing with them after, 18 months of knowing them. So, I'm just definitely excited just to see, how our chemistry can build even more off of last year, and how I can improve, just with, my jump shot and my ball handling and also my leadership skills.
All right, final thought. Give us an idea of what the next month is going to look like for you and your teammates. Obviously, you're back on campus, you're conditioning, you're hitting the weight room. What does the next month or two look like for you guys?
Yeah, so we're just, again, starting back in the weight room with Coach JP, and we're getting a little bit of conditioning in too. And then there's also voluntary conditioning on the side as well. And I think starting within the next week and a half will be in very small groups, trying to get into the gym, and just trying to, get some plays in or some sets in that we can just have a basic foundation for, when school starts. And then that's kind of when we can hit the ground running, and everybody will be back, and we'll just get back to work.
Yep, great to have you back here in the fort. I see your dorm room there. Might need to jazz it up a little bit, but hey, great to catch up with you, David. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that's David Roddy, sophomore in the Colorado State Ram basketball team. And thanks for watching another edition of Ram Country Conversations.